Welcome back to Bonanza Disc Golf. Today, I want to talk about the best budget luxury-ish disc golf bag. Basically bags under $100 that I actually have hands-on experience from. So this isn't going to be all the bags, but these are going to be the ones that I've tried, as well as the bag that I'm planning on using most likely for the 2023 season. None of this is sponsored. I did buy one of them with my own money. Two of them were actually sent to me, but there are big pros and cons to each of the bags. But before we get into any of that, let me tell you what they are and how many discs they hold, drivers, putters, all that good stuff. First bag that we're gonna talk about is the Dynamic Discs Paratrooper, which is kind of a staple in the luxury cheap bags because I think Dynamic way overproduced these bags. So even though they're $100 retail, I think you can find them on Amazon like consistently for $60 or $70, depending on the pattern. I think this one was $60, which is why I bought it to be my first upgrade out of just the super cheap, basically bags are gonna rip up and tear up on you. And this one held up pretty good. The back has this general padding here, and there are a lot of pockets, but this bag is absolutely massive and heavy. It's very, honestly, kind of uncomfortable to carry around. In my opinion, I am a smaller guy, I'm 5'6", so maybe that has something to do with it. And there's one major drawback that we'll get to. But first, let's load this guy up and see how many discs we can fit. I'm gonna try to do like what a normal bag would be, so a mix of putters, mids, as well as drivers. Actually, we'll just use my general bag. I think you can fit 6 discs in this top section up here. Oh, that's for a review. 5. Yeah, so you can fit 6 discs in the top, and then there's even space for 1 or 2 more up here. So I think 8 discs. I think 1 is probably the sweet spot, 2 is a little much. The big problem with this we'll get to in a second. We'll just say 5 mids down here, 6, 7. We'll just call it 8 mids, 8 putters, 8 mids, and now how many drivers can we fit in there? They're fairways, 2, 4, 6, 8. We can probably squeeze 1 more 9th in there, but would not fit very comfortably. So this honestly is pretty solid. The big issue comes, oh, there's actually, you can probably fit 1 more disc right in here. Probably a driver. I never really use this pocket because it's very uncomfortable to get things out, especially in here. With that, it's just gonna lift up. That's the main problem with this bag, honestly. I also can fit 1 more down here if I really wanted to, but I tend to use this for like minis and other things like that. So what do we have? 8, 9, 10, 26 discs, kind of uncomfortably, probably closer to 24, 25. Or if you have less mids, you can probably fit in another 1 or 2 extras if they're just drivers. The biggest issue that I have with this bag is these are kind of like spots you could have discs, but if I have 1 in the front and 1 in the top, I cannot get discs out comfortably. Literally, that had to warp in order to get out. So if it's any sort of stiff plastic, it is not coming out of there. The other big problem that I had with it was when you have this full, or even only like 5 discs up here, when you start to take things out, that happens every single time. This always comes out because the Velcro is like vertical here and it's horizontal down here. And just this putter pocket is, I just wish it was a little bit tighter. Like, I think that could be made so much better with just some minor tweaks, but it's very rigid. It's always going to stand up. I've not had any problems with that. It is kind of modular and there's zippers in here, so you put the plastic pieces in and then zip it up, which is really nice, but it makes it a little bit difficult for me to get this in and out, and it makes it very big and bulky. Here's how it looks on my back. Just a little big. It has 2 really big water bottle holders, which I really like. That's one of the downfalls of some of these other ones, but I mean, I have this big old Nalgene and it fits very comfortably, and you can even fit a bigger water bottle if you want. And there's 1 on both sides, as well as these 2 nice big pockets for a lot of things. There's also some mesh on the inside of there. I like to keep some money in there sometimes for like doubles or something like that, or if someone aces, or just putting some pens. And then up here is also where you can put some pens. I had to cut this in half as well, because I was able to fit my phone, and everyone's like, oh, your phone's gonna drop. It's not gonna drop. This is always how it is. It's never gonna drop out of there. It's just not, especially when there's stuff in here, it's not gonna happen. And I was able to fit in a disc retriever as well. So no back pockets or anything, pretty solid construction, a little bit annoying with just how this pocket works, which is one of the main reasons I really wanted a new bag. But 26 to 28 discs is what I'd say you could comfortably fit inside of this guy. Oh, one other thing, pull tab totally broke off of here, so I used a hair tie and then that broke. And to be honest with you, all of these I'll have affiliate links for in the description. You can buy any of these bags, so I'm not sponsored by any of these companies. I'm not obligated to say absolutely anything about them. But let's take a quick look at some of the other bags, because there are definitely some cons compared to this bag, but also some things that are slightly better. And we'll get into the bag that I think I'm mainly gonna be using for my reviews from here on out, which is why it has stuff on it, because I'm not playing a lot myself, which is the Discology OG V2 bag, which which is I think the version 2 of the OG bag. Now this one I think retails for $90. With my affiliate link, actually, there's a 10% off code as well linked in the description, so you can get it for probably around $80 for both of these next 2 bags. And Discology sent me these out. I really like the people over at that company, so maybe there's gonna be a little bit of bias there, just speaking honestly, but I'm gonna tell you all the bad things and bad experiences that I have with these bags and the reasons why in the long run, I probably won't want just these bags. I'd want something probably a little bit nicer, but if you're looking at the under $100 price point, there's absolutely nothing that would fit in there that I could see. Because honestly, these are pretty comparable to a lot of the other things like the Atlas bags, some of the Axiom and MVP type of bags that are around. And the second bag that we're gonna get to is the one that I think I'm gonna use for my actual bag, but let's talk about this one real fast. All right, so I'm gonna take all the discs that were in here and see if we can fit them into this bag. This is the stuff that I was going to be reviewing, but I'm not gonna be able to. And that's just something that you should know. This bag definitely is not going to fit as many discs, which is okay because you don't need all these discs most of the time. We'll go ahead and start with the putters. And that's where I think this bag is lacking quite a decent bit because these are the putter pockets up here and they're all right, but we'll see. I'll put 2 putters in each of them. There's 2 in here and they're there. And then I'll put 2 other ones. I have some P1s for a review that I'm gonna shoot today. And I don't even know if I can fit 2 more. Okay, I can fit 2 more. And so these are all up here, which is good, and I can take them out, but when I take them out, it's a little hard. And when I take a second one out, this little thing pops up almost every time. So that's a little annoying. And that's why I really only put putters in one of these top ones. You good? This one also has kind of the vertical Velcro, but I think that because these putter pockets are a little bit more well managed as compared to this one, but once you attach it, you can actually fit 2 discs in here, which we will do at the end, but you want to actually have the rest of the bag filled first. And so we're going to actually throw the rest of the putters in, see how many we can fit. To the right side here. Then I'm only going to throw in like another 2 or 3 mids so that we don't just overload this thing with mids. But as you can see, this is already filling up pretty significantly. We'll see how many drivers we can put in. 4, 5. Okay, we could probably squeeze 1 more mid or driver in there. Maybe 1 more driver as well. Okay, that's too tight. I don't like to have everything be super tight because I don't want my discs to be smushed up against each other because that could warp them if they get held that way for long. But we got 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 19. So probably about 20 discs if you have less putters because I have more mids and putters than I would ever throw, honestly, in this bag right now. So probably 20 to 21 discs in here, so definitely less. But this is where things start to get a little bit interesting as well because, oh, never mind, I forgot. In here, I could throw these guys. 1 of those. I think I can actually throw a mid in there as well. And what's nice is this pocket, you only need to put the disc in slightly and it'll actually stay. So, okay, we got 21 discs in now. I can probably honestly fit 22. And when I take things out, that still stays, which is a big benefit because I think that this space is open a little bit more than the Paratrooper. And that's really important to me, as being able to take this in and out with relative ease. This also does have this patch thing up here. I don't have patches yet. If you guys want me to like make patches for my next disc drop or just to have as merch, let me know and I can make some patches, but I personally don't use them, so that's not something that I care about too much. I really like that on top here they have these little tabs, which is not on the Paratrooper or on the next bag, the Izzo, because I'm able to carabine on my towel. On both sides here, they have basically the same configuration. There's a space that you could put this, ooh, there's some water in that still, that's not good. You could put a disc retriever in there, which is what I do in one of these, and then I just kind of tighten it down. I also basically put my towel in there, so this is like my getting discs out of water and cleaning them off area. Hopefully don't need to use it that much. The other side, I put my phone in here, which is really nice. I like that there's a space for a phone, but honestly, most of the time I honestly just throw it up in here because it's easy to just grab. But that's a good place for that. I honestly don't know what else I would put in either side, but in the back here, there are 2 water bottle holders. But my big issue with these is I feel like you need to beat them in like a disc a little bit, because for my water bottle here, this Nalgene, kind of need to finesse it in. Okay, that one got beat in a little bit, quote unquote. But the first time, I don't think I've used this one much. The first time trying to get it open, this elastic is really tight for this big of a water. You need slightly smaller water bottle. So I really need, it's like a pain in the butt to get it in and get it out. So honestly, maybe putting it in and jostling it around a little bit, opening up that elastic a little will be helpful, but it's a little more annoying than I'd like, because I like carrying 2 water bottles, because especially right now I'm in Florida, but no matter what, I just sweat a lot, so I like to be able to replenish that. In the back here is a really nice pocket in case you're bringing valuables or something. There's actually another pocket here. I don't quite think it'll fit a disc unless, yeah, I mean, you can fit a disc like that, but then it's on your back. It's more just a valuables pocket for sure. The padding on the back is really nice. It feels very good. This bag feels small on your back, which is awesome. Another good thing for me is this expandable pocket here. Close it up. I like to keep them mostly closed. Honestly, most of the time I just have a bunch of minis in these, but in here, yeah, just a bunch of minis. There is a small pocket for your money in here. I just have a couple bucks for dubs or something. They have the same thing on the other side as well, where you can keep a lot of stuff. Not really a place for like a rangefinder unless you put it in there. One thing I will say though is I abuse all my equipment very much, and I don't see a lot of big issues, except when I put in these side panels, because at the very top there's not really a place for it to sit. It just kind of sits in, which is fine and nice, especially when you have putters in here. But I thought there was a spot, and so I ended up actually ripping through a little bit on the side up here. So that is unfortunate. I'll probably either have to sew that up or just kind of live with it, which is what I'm planning on doing. But that was just a little bit of user error, as well as when I put these into my van, they have to sit high, and so honestly it gets like crushed a little bit, and so that probably is honestly, that makes more sense of what ripped through that. The other thing that I'm not sure if this is just me really abusing it or what is the straps and everything feel really good, but right here I've already kind of opened this bit up, which reminds me of a little bit cheaper bags that I've had. I could definitely sew it up, but it's, I mean, I rip on it a lot, so it's probably that, but I would have thought that it would hold up a little bit more. I've been using these bags both for a little over a month now. But other than that, which really isn't the biggest of issues, especially if I go ahead and sew it up or tape it up or something. But with all that, this bag just feels a little bit lighter. So it's definitely comfortable on my back, and it looks a little bit cleaner as well. This is how we're looking with the bag. Really nice, really, really comfortable, like super slim profile, which is why I like to use it for my reviews. But the bag that I am going to be using for myself for this season, foreseeably, is gonna be the Discology Izzo bag, because it has room for days and lots of pockets, but it's still not the perfect bag. And I think, I mean, I was a little disappointed by that, and we'll get to the reasons why. But when you're spending $90 or $80 with my link, I think on a disc golf bag, like, and expecting it to be like a $200 or $300 bag, some like a pound or $400, you kind of can't really expect that. But this has most of those features that I would want. Let me explain why this is the bag that I'm gonna be using, and why I think personally, based off all the bags that I've used, this is the best bag sub $100 that you can get for disc golf. But I haven't used all the bags, so. And if you want to pick one of these up or any of these, they'll all be linked in the description. Like I said, discount code for the Discology bags. Just gonna take everything out that I currently am bagging. The putter pocket up here first is massive. And honestly, you can overfill it a bit. I initially was a little disappointed that it's like, oh, this kind of just flops around. It doesn't get held anywhere. But you'll see once I fill it up, it kind of actually just acts as an outer barrier for all the discs that are in there. There's also a little mini pocket or extra pocket right here. And let me get this out of the way real fast. The one thing that I was looking for and super excited for when I got this bag is an inside pocket. Both of these other bags have inside pockets where you open up a pocket, it's got another pocket, so I can throw money in there, because I like having that a little bit tighter, because I'm probably gonna lose stuff because stuff falls out for me all the time. So I was looking, this doesn't have an inside pocket, this one doesn't have an inside pocket, there's no inside pocket inside of here, there's no inside pocket inside of here, there's no inside pocket, there's no inside pockets in this bag. And I know, like, yeah, I could throw money in there, but I honestly am not carrying money in this bag anymore because I feel like I'll probably lose it. And that's one thing that I felt like could have been a really simple, great addition, is to have that inside pocket, but it's just not there, which I think is very unfortunate, honestly. But let's go ahead. 2 putting putters up here, throwing putters, anything else I want to put up there. Here, we can throw the Razor Claw 3 up there. And you see here, it's honestly all very comfortably laid out. I honestly might be able to fit another disc. Ursus? Yep, fits. All of those discs fit up here, and I can take them all out with ease. Jokeries at the back, no problem. Ursus at the front, no problem. That's so nice. I have what, 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 discs up here? Can I fit another one? I can fit another one. Then it gets a little bit difficult to take stuff out though. So I would say probably 8 discs is your comfortable max. Yeah, I'm taking one of those out. All putters and mids though, that's kind of wild, honestly. One of the other things that I find really nice is that this has the full Velcro that way, which you can either put down here if it's rainy, which is nice. It also zips. Stop hit, dude, go away. They're like ducks looking like they're gonna attack me. Why are you hissing at me? But because it has that Velcro there, it is very securely attached. And so 9 discs up top, go away. Yeah, you got something to say to the camera? Yeah, that's what I thought, bud. And then, okay, let's see. I have second Ursus, Kex Z down here. Okay, my mids, 3 fairways is basically what I'm carrying right now. I need to get a 4th one. Oh no, 4 fairways, and then 4 drivers. Basically right now is all I'm carrying, which is probably not the best, but this is my bag. And you see how much room is left in there? Let's just fill it, okay. That's wild. Okay, putters, mids, and drivers, how many extra can we add? Because right now we have 9, 19, 20, 21 discs so far. We're gonna add 4 more mids and putters. 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30 comfortably, and the vast majority of them are mids. That's not all though, because I could also throw 1 disc here if it's a mid. I think I could probably fit 2 drivers. Yep, 2 drivers fit in that slot. So what is this, 32 discs in here so far. 17 out of the 32 are mids and putters. So if you don't need to carry 17 mids and putters, you could probably fit 35 to 40 discs in here, I would say. 40 maybe a little much unless you're only carrying drivers, which you're insane. Oh, there's also a spot for a buzz. Nah, not the buzz. I'm never gonna bag the buzz. For my Mac Truth, go in there. So 33 and 19 are mids and putters, 18. That's craziness. A couple other things that I really don't like about this is this right here is just that. I wish there were some loops on it. You can fit a carabiner around this, which I'm going to do because I'm gonna basically recreate my bag. So I'll honestly throw this on this side right here. And this is another thing that is a little bit disappointing, but it's understandable because of how much storage this bag has, is you kinda can only carry 1-ish water bottle. This, actually, you can carry 2 because this is a water bottle slot. I honestly don't use it as a water bottle slot because I put the towel as well as my disc retriever right down in here. And that's really nice. This is a great spot for those to go, but that means that your water bottle holder, which is also pretty similar size to that one, so a little bit small in my opinion, is gone. But that doesn't mean you can't put a water bottle in here because I'm obviously not going to the disc golf course without water. That's a deal breaker. So I honestly just throw it right in here, which is actually a very comfortable spot for the water bottle to go. This has a spot for a couple of Sharpies, which I like because I ace every time that I go out and play. And then I also in here will put either like a dry sack, a whale bag, my phone goes in here as well. And this one I mostly keep open. That way I can just grab my phone during the round. And on the other side, we have the putter pocket. We have another big pocket here where I keep just extra miscellaneous things. I always carry some minis. And then a also very big front pocket where honestly, just because I like seeing you guys out on the course, I just have more minis. Let me put this on because this one is definitely a little bit bigger, but the weight is distributed much more top to bottom instead of side to side, which I thought would be uncomfortable, but it's actually more comfortable because then it just lays all the way across your back instead of out from your back. This one's definitely bigger. It's definitely probably more Paratrooper size, but it holds more than the Paratrooper, and I prefer having sectioned off storage compartments like this one does. I don't know why there's not a mesh inner pouch though. Like that seems like a no-brainer that that's not in there, so a little disappointing. I wasn't obviously a part of the design process, but if I do get to be a part of one, I'm getting some inner liners, baby. I don't think, oh, there was one thing that I found that was like an issue with this bag, but because this bag is a little bit bigger, the support structure already comes in it when you get it. I think you might have to put in one piece, but everything else is inside of it, which I really wish there was a way to access it, because since I put this in my van and the ceiling basically right in here of my garage area, I basically have the bags go right up to it. And I actually put it up too far one time and just kind of smushed it in there. And because I smushed it in there that one time, the supports that run all the way up this side, on this side, don't quite go all the way up here now because it got pushed down and there was no way that I could go inside of it and straighten it out so that it could go all the way to the top. So now it only goes to, like, this part doesn't have those supports, which I don't think will be a big issue because it's just the one piece of plastic and it still feels like there's enough support systems there. But that's one of the things that I would really have liked is inner pockets in this bag, as well as a way, oh yeah, because this also looks like it's curving a little bit more, maybe because of that. Yeah, it does look like it's slightly curving more because of that. Right out here you can see. But if there was a way that I could like unzip something, take out that plastic piece, straighten it out, put it back in here, that would have been really nice to be able to do. Okay, I'm gonna be honest. I found out that there's actually little Velcro things inside of here that you can open up to get access to these panels. But then when I opened it up, I found out that the panel on this side was actually installed backwards. So that's not good. Hopefully this was the only one that happened on, but I was able to take it out, reverse it, and now I have full support. So that's a positive that I have the full supports because I was able to take it out and reverse it. It was a little bit of a pain in the butt to do, but it might have actually not been my fault. It might have just been that it was installed backwards. So that's not good. I still love the bag though, and it was still working, but install them the right way maybe. But I'm going to say that unequivocally for under $100, I think this is probably the best bag that you can get if you want to carry the most discs or just the most things. I carry like 3 or 4 discs up top here, as well as like dry bags. Sometimes my phone goes up there, sometimes an extra charger, a lot of extra things, as well as having all this outside and really, really nice padding. And the reason that this fits so well, I think, is because this little frame right here, which I think all these have, but this one, even though it's such a big bag, is very tight to the top, whereas this one, as you can see, is like basically double the length, which makes it sit much more comfortably on your shoulders. So all these bags will be linked in the description. Hopefully I can get my hands on like a really, really nice bag at some point, but I don't see a need, honestly, for why I would need anything beyond this. Oh, I also didn't mention that in here is where I keep my rangefinder and a flashlight, and there's also still room for more stuff, so even more storage. But this is probably the favorite bag that I've ever owned or used. But if you're just getting started and you don't want to even spend this much money, there are definitely cheaper bags, but I went through those bags pretty fast and they turned into tatters. So I would recommend starting with one of these, because by the time that bag turns into tatters and you buy a second one, this one will still be chugging along. Paratrooper, all these will still be doing very well. So probably just start with a $90 bag if you can. Forgot to mention, this is a part of my new series, For Real or Bad Deal. If you want to check out the last episode of that, it was all about disc golf nets and how to use them. Check it out right up here. But if you're more interested in seeing one of these guys out on the course, go ahead and check out my last disc review right down here, and I'll see you there. Okay, love you. Bye.